writer.com and the director of the Portland Comedy Film Festival. We have Portland Comedy Film Festival Summer 2022 coming up in just a couple of days on Sunday, the 18th. Hopefully you'll be joining us and you'll see all kinds of fun films. One of them is called Stuck in Reality, which was actually a Best Comedy Series Episode Award finalist at our Spring 2022 event. But we're going to go ahead and screen that one in our summer screening so that we get a chance to see it. And sometimes we allow our filmmakers to defer to future seasons just in case there's a scheduling conflict. And here we are. It's funny, all just the same group of judges picked it. And we are very excited. This is a great looking film. So congrats on your award nomination. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much
for having us.
So Christina, Apoorva, who's going to tell me the synopsis of Stuck in Reality?
I am going to tell you a synopsis of Stuck in Reality. So Stuck in Reality is about two best friends, Liz, played by Christina, and Riya, played by myself, who become co-owners of a bookstore. And they, as they're running this bookstore, they, come across all of these different characters in their lives. And both Liz and Riya have kind of like innocent, nice looking faces, so they feel like people can take advantage of them a lot. But given the fact that they're working at this bookstore and the different societal constraints and expectations of women, they don't feel like they can actually respond to these interactions in the way that they'd like. So we explore their inner fantasies, which is why it's called Stuck in Reality, where when something happens, like a guest who didn't really buy a book or engage with the bookstore at all, asked to use the bathroom, how do we really feel? We beat this person up, and that's an episode. So it's kind of like, how would you really want to respond to things that happen in your life if no constraints or consequences existed? So at the festival, we're only going to be screening our final episode 4. But just to give you some context of the earlier episodes, you can watch them out of order, but just to have it. Episode 1 kind of gives, it's called A Day in the Life. No, sorry. It's called All in a Day's Work.
All in a Day's Work.
I got the title wrong, sorry. It's called All in a Day's Work, but it shows a day in the life of Liz and Riya working at the bookstore, all of these different customers who come in, really establishing like life at the bookstore. Episode 2 is called The Competition, and it's about when they have some competition for their bookstore, but it's actually a guy selling books out of his car, and they have this actual legitimate business and are competing with somebody who probably is even licensed to be like selling books. And that's a really fun episode. And then the third episode is called Unladylike. And we kind of see Liz, who has like maybe more, slightly more quieter personality than Riya at face value. And Liz gets mistaken for a man, and we see kind of her progression over the course of the day to become a little bit more like a man. And I think the commentary there is really on the fact that Liz just feels like she is able to say and do more of what she wants than she could in the past. And then episode 4, which you will have to come and see.
Yeah. All comes
So
together.
Christina, why spend your time, effort, and energy writing and creating this? What was your inspiration?
It actually was kind of born from a just desire to create. Apoorva and I met in acting class, and I just asked her to grab a coffee, and I was like, let's make something. And then we kind of just brainstormed, like, what do we have in common? What are our experiences? Kind of trying to find something that we both felt strongly about. And we landed on this sort of like juxtaposition thing and the whole playing on looking innocent and whatever. But honestly, I just think there's something so rewarding about, what is it? Soup to nuts? Like creating something from the beginning to the end. And yeah, it was just like a creative urge to just like produce something.
What about you, Apoorva?
Yeah, I think it was definitely born out of that place of like, Christina and I would say we're actors first in a lot of ways, but enjoy creating, writing, producing as much. But as an actor, you don't really have a lot of control over when you get to work, what kind of work you get to do. And, a lot of the times you end up playing very similar roles. Like, I've auditioned for a lot of teachers and nurses and babysitters. And it's both Christina and I wanted to explore a chance to like do something we really wanted to do. Like, when else do we get to jump off of a desk and beat someone up in a show? Like, I don't think, just if we're going off of like type, I don't know if that's something we'll get to do every day. But we were like, why don't we just put ourselves in the driver's seat and do something that feels fun and exciting and different? And that's how we kind of created this story. And I think one thing that's really beautiful about creating your own work or creating independent work is like the fact that it can just take on a life of its own. And I think as Christina and I continued through each stage of the process, like fundraising, producing, editing, we also were motivated by the fact that like it was continuing to grow in ways that we didn't expect. And so I think that kind of got us to the end, was that there was always something that continued to excite us about the project.
All right. Well, Christina, what did you learn from this?
I think it really teaches you that there's only so much you can prepare for. And it really, you just got to go with the flow and roll with the punches. I mean, the amount of preparation we did, I'm really proud of us. I think Apoorva and I make a great team. We were really organized leading up to it. And then you just kind of got to throw it away. And that you're going to learn like 50 lessons that to the future, and then the next project you're going to learn 50 more. Like, you just got to learn by doing and just take it for what it is and appreciate the wild ride, because you're bound to be challenged in so many ways. And I think it's really good for you as a creator and also just as a person. That's what I would say.
What about you, Apoorva? What was the learning experience like from this one?
I definitely echo everything Christina said. There were so many things we could not anticipate. Like, for one of our sets was a car, and the car disappeared. It's like you just absolutely cannot plan. And I think both of us try to control a lot of things. So that was a great lesson. So I'm really glad you said that. But to offer a different lesson, I think it's just an incredible reminder that creating is really hard, and it gave me a really intense sense of appreciation for any time anyone produces or creates something, whether that's a huge feature film or a 3-minute like sketch video. It just, there's so much effort that goes into it, and you can see it. And I think as an actor, it helped me understand like, what does everybody do on set? And when I'm on a set that's not like one that I'm a producer on or a writer on or anything, it helps me be like, okay, well, how can I put myself into perspective? How can I be a cog in this machine? So I think it just helped me understand what everybody does when you're filmmaking. And I think that kind of helps complete the picture.
All right. Well, what do you got planned for the future? What's going on, Christina? What are you doing next?
As far as in general, I think I'm always have my hands in different things. I'm producing a podcast that's coming out in October. I am editing, I'm writing. I have another short in some festivals. But stuck in reality, I think that Apoorva and I are always open to see where it takes us. I think we're really curious. I'll only speak for myself. I'm really curious to see audience reactions and kind of the general how it's received, and kind of see if that sparks a next step as far as what would feel right, because we love working together. And we're, again, like I said before, like if nothing else I've learned, like there's only so much you can plan, and you just gotta be excited for whatever the mysterious future holds. I don't know if that answered your question, but that was my attempt.
Right, you, Apoorva, what's next?
Yeah. So to add to Stuck in Reality as well, it is going to be streaming on OTV. Open Television is a Chicago-based nonprofit streaming service that's really focused on showcasing work by minority artists, so women, LGBTQ, people of color. So Open Television, in the future you'll be able to watch it on there, which is really great. They're an incredible team. We've tossed around creating a pilot versus like creating more web series episodes, but again, I think that's something that we want to see how people respond to this. Like, does it make sense in this format? Does it make sense in a different format? but I definitely don't want it to be the end of Stuck in Reality. Oh yeah, go ahead. You were gonna say
No,
something?
you go ahead. Sorry.
Oh,
I
sure.
didn't mean to
I
cut you
was
off.
just gonna say, in terms of myself, let me think. Oh well, Stuck in Reality is also going to be at the Chicago South Asian Film Festival, so that's another like future aspect of it. And for me, I'm in New York now. I've been doing lots of acting and auditioning out here, and going to be in a movie on HBO that'll be coming out in the spring.
Whoa, that's
That'll be
huge.
exciting.
That's huge, man. That's
That's
exciting.
kind of the big update.
I know, I'm so excited. Also, the Chinese theater. Stuck in Reality is going to be playing as part of Holly Short's monthly screening series here in LA. I moved to LA since she moved to New York, but yeah, at the Chinese theater it's going to be playing, which I'm really excited about. And just remember.
All right, exciting times. You guys have a lot cooking. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
I mean, thank you to the judges for choosing our series to be a part of it. It's such an honor to just have it be part of such a great festival and in front of and so much fun in this process. We really, really appreciate it. Apoorva, do you have anything?
Yeah, no, totally want to echo what Christina said. And thank you, Michael, as well, for all of your organization, organizing this interview. You've been super communicative, and I'm sure the festival is going to be fantastic.
Thank you for the kind words. We are going to have some fun. So thank you. Thank you again for providing us great content to make our audience laugh. So, well, have a good day. This has been fun. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. You too.